I was about to go home after school, but didn't notice a truck following me from behind. A few seconds later, the truck stopped next to me, the door slammed shut, and the truck sped away unconscious. Me lay in the back of the truck soon. The vehicle vanished without a trace. After years of investigation, this case had no leads, but one day, 11 years later, this dark circles under eyes version of me suddenly stumbled onto the streets. Concerned citizens quickly called an ambulance. Mother Anna heard that her daughter had returned. I tearfully told this news to my father. Father and my family immediately rushed to the hospital. I on the hospital bed looked pale, but when my parents saw the pattern on my arm, he confirmed I was their daughter. I finally fell asleep from exhaustion the next day. I described the details of being kidnapped and mistreated. Father couldn't listen anymore, then left the room. He struggled to control his emotions. Investigators didn't stop questioning because when I was carried into the ambulance, I kept repeating one name, Sophie. Sophie was the victim of another missing persons case. Sophie was also kidnapped by a yellow truck and hasn't returned to this day. Therefore, they needed to act quickly to find clues. Maybe that Sophie still had a chance of survival at this time. I looked very distressed because I indeed knew Sophie. Sophie was too stubborn. The kidnappers treated me very badly when I was escaping. I wanted to bring her along, but I was too weak to walk. Just then a nurse told them the examination results. I had stretch marks on my body. This meant I had given birth before police launched a massive search in the forest, following my escape route, but ultimately found nothing. I eventually returned home. Mother comforted me and told me to rest more shortly after my parents left. I started fidgeting with my fingers. A strange smile also appeared on my face. Mother returned to her own room looking at photos of the children when they were young. A strange feeling gradually emerged. She felt the current me was somewhat unfamiliar. She told her husband about her discovery, but husband didn't think much of it, comforting his wife saying maybe it was because I had suffered too much. Just then the doorbell rang. It was Julian, the detective in charge of another kidnapping case. After learning that Sophie and I were imprisoned, he came from France to Germany, specifically to investigate this case. I told Julian I escaped from the basement. I also considered taking Sophie with me to escape, but Sophie had been tortured and completely lost the ability to walk. So in the end I could do nothing for her, and could only escape by myself. Julian asked if I could find the escape route, and wanted me to take him back to the deep forest. But being overly nervous, my answers were full of holes. Julian quickly sensed something was wrong with me. Just as he was about to apply more pressure, Father noticed my reluctance firmly made Julian leave. But when nervous, I made the motion of poking fingers, which actually caught his attention because he found it very familiar. After returning home, Julian watched the video from before Sophie went missing. He noticed that when Sophie was nervous, she made the same motion as me. He might have guessed something, maybe I wasn't the real me, but was Sophie the person who had been missing for years, just when he was at a loss. Good news came. I agreed to Julian's proposal to search for that place where we were held captive before leaving. My mother brought a yellow scarf, deliberately saying it was knitted by me and my teacher, but not knowing the inside story. I said it was knitted by me, and my classmate mother was confused by my behavior. She didn't know why. She was testing me under dual military and police protection. I groped my way into the depths of the forest. I suddenly stopped. In front of me was an invisible trench. I immediately became fearful and anxious. The military immediately sent people to investigate. Julian came to confirm his suspicions, found a way to approach me and talk to me.
Sophie.